We want to take you live to Baghdad now. Remember our top story about the changes, the seeming stalling process in the Iraqi elections now? Well, the Iraqi Vice President Tariq al-Hashemi is live for us now from Baghdad. Thank you for your time, sir. It was your decision, your veto, which has now thrown this election into doubt. Do you appreciate the magnitude of what you've done?
Well, definitely. In fact, what I have done, in fact, is based on my constitutional obligation. When I discovered that there is a major loophole, it's our duty, according to the Constitution, to try to make some sort of remedy on legal basis, and this is what I have done today.
Okay, so you've done it according to the Constitution, you've done what you say is legal. My question to you, though, is the repercussions of this. If this election can't happen as it is supposed to happen by January the 31st, then what happens? It is a huge opportunity lost for Iraq.
Well, I don't think that this sort of amendment is going to defer the timetable of the Commission. I made a thorough discussion with the Commission staff the day before yesterday. I very much sure that all logistics has been already covered, action being taken. So just to make this amendment, even if it's going to take 1 or 2 days, is not going to make any major shift to the timetable that has been agreed upon.
But what's interesting is I spoke to a spokesman from the Electoral Commission only 1 hour ago. He said everything's off. They're not pressing on with anything. Of course it's been thrown into doubt.
I'm not agree. I think this announcement, in fact, is not based on any acceptable ground, because, as I told you, in fact, I have a lengthy discussion the day before yesterday. I checked everything, and the chairman of the Commission told me specifically that all action being taken, all what we need, in fact, to press the button on the form, which will be according to number of seats, and this could be sorted out within hours.
Why is 5%, the sticking point of 5% for Iraqis in exile, Iraqis abroad, why is 5% not enough? Well, 5%, in fact, if you just reflect it to a number of seats, we are talking on number not exceeding, in Norway, 7 seats. 7 seats, according to Article 49 of the Constitution, doesn't mean anything. According to the text of this article, we have to ensure that each 100,000 Iraqi, whether they are living inside or outside Iraq, they should be entertained by 1 seat. So 7 seats, it doesn't entertain the least figure which Ministry of Migration is maintained time being. The number of Iraqis outside Iraq, which being recorded as per Ministry of Migration, is 1,500,000. If you are talking on NGOs, international human rights, this figure could reach to 4.5 million. So if we are allocating only 7 seats, this means that we are entertaining 700,000 Iraqis and ignoring 800,000. How come that this law is done or respect or geared to the Constitution? But with the greatest amount of respect to those 800,000 Iraqis, I don't want to say that those votes aren't important, but in the grand scheme of things, when compared to the amount more people who could vote, again, aren't you losing an opportunity here to get this vote through and get the majority of Iraqis to vote in a proper election?
Well, yes, the ultimate goal, in fact, first of all, in fact, we have to, this is a constitutional issue. We shouldn't, in fact, try to translate the Constitution as per our desire. So first of all, we should have a calculation, number of Iraqi population in and out. I'm just asking you this question. How the numbers of seats being upgraded from 275 to 323? This because that the population inside Iraq, in fact, all Iraqis, in fact, taken into consideration, then the number of seats being modified to match the population of Iraq. This should have been, in fact, done when number of Iraqis, in fact, should be taken into consideration, which is
which is the point, in fact, because all the records, whenever you go, in fact, you could reach a number which in no way could match the 7 seats that has been allocated and emerged from this 5%.
Okay, how do you move forward from here? You've got the Eid holiday coming up in about, I think it's about 8 or 9 days' time. The Parliament's going to have to act very, very quickly to get this to happen before then.
Emergency meeting needed, in fact, and I understand from the Speaker he's going to call for an urgent meeting either today or tomorrow to tackle this issue. I'm sure that it doesn't make too much time, in fact, to discuss and to agree on this article and send it back to...
Sorry for interrupting you, Mr. Tariq, but given how long it took to get the vote through in the first place, aren't you being a bit ambitious to get this through in an emergency session in the next couple of days?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm quite optimistic because everybody, there is a consensus agreement between all Iraqis, in fact, that we have to move very quickly and to match the timetable that has been specified by the Electoral Commission.
Iraq's Vice President Tariq al-Hashemi live in Baghdad for us. Thank you for joining us, sir.